Now, you're a technology company, you kind of get this, but the key thing to remind ourselves as tech people is there's 3 attributes of information technology that are really driving this engagement situation. That is, it applies to all 3 of these areas I just mentioned. And let's just review them very quickly. The key thing about applying technology is it allows you to scale. Scale way more people into any engagement. Once you crack the new model and once you get that new infrastructure, you can get way more people very quickly involved in anything. And that's the kind of abstract way to think about it. And it's the basic social networking phenomena that we've seen in everything that's happened in all this social media, that if everybody just invites 2 more people, that starts essentially an exponential growth of doubling, and those numbers get phenomenally huge, to the point where you get Facebook numbers, which I'll mention in a minute here. That dynamic, people outside of tech don't really understand it, but that is the juggernaut behind essentially the absolute proliferation of social media right now. Every iteration is a doubling. The second piece about technology that you're aware of is it allows you to, and it's partly related to the scale, it allows you to parallel process, do things at the same time, coordinate the same thing or similar things at the same time, which blows you out of the constraints of physical kind of containment. And this is, of course, a server farm, which remember the old days of computing, we thought, well, if you had just one giant supercomputer, one brain of a supercomputer, that would do all the calculations. And someone said, now wait a minute, what if we took a problem, split it up, distributed amongst smaller computers, and through lightning-fast telecommunications, reassemble the answers? Much quicker, much more scalable. That's server farms. That's how every Google search goes now. It's essentially a kind of a technical kind of fix for a problem solving that is also now applied in a broader sense. So now we're starting to think, you could take all those questions, all those different challenges I mentioned earlier that the world is facing, and you can start to coordinate and parallel process on these things in ways that you wouldn't have if you had the same brain and the same small group of people. They couldn't possibly deal with the scale and complexity of this thing, which is, again, thinking ahead. This is something that your company is also going to be about. The other thing, obviously, what it does is it collapses space, and you're watching all the implications for your outsourcing here at India, but it's really a huge shift that essentially blows through all these things, is that physically contained meetings get completely superseded. If you can find a way to connect those 2 worlds, you've got a powerful organizational principle, and that's what IT lets you do.